Merry meet everyone. Welcome back to my channel, and I know I haven't posted in a long time on my channel. A lot of things have been going on, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about something I talked about a couple weeks ago in Witches of the Moon, and that is music and the craft. Um, that and my idea of chaos magic. I don't know why that just popped in my head, but um, I was in the shower, and it's just been one of those days where the emotions have run high for me and for my partner, and um, it's just one of those emotionally high days. And it happens. We're both empathic, and so it does happen, and we deal with it the best way we can. But that's not the reason why I'm this video tonight. This video is because I wanted to touch more on the use of music in the craft and the magic and healing powers of music. I grew up in a musical family, and I am so thankful and so honored that both sides of my family were musically inclined, um, in instrumental music and vocal music. Um, my mom and my dad played the trumpet in high school, in marching band. My grandmother, on his side, I found out, played the clarinet. Um, I don't know what happened to her clarinet. I would love to have it. Um, it's probably stowed away somewhere or sold. It sucks. But I would love to have her clarinet. I have my mom played clarinet. My grandmother taught piano lessons and played on my mom's side. Played the guitar and taught piano lessons. Um, I have a guitar. I have a keyboard. I want to learn really badly. Um, More so on the keyboard aspect than I do the guitar. Um, I bought the guitar at Impulse in high school, and I bought the keyboard in high school as well, but I knew a little bit of what I was going. Now I want to fully like embrace myself in the keyboard and learn how to play. Um, Also, my on my mom's side of the family, my grandmother was in the choir. She sung. She was a soprano. My mom was a soprano. Um, she doesn't really sing anymore. Usually sings in church choirs. Well, used to sing in church choir, but she doesn't sing anymore because of conflicts within the choir. She loves the church. It's just the choir's gotten so down and kind of crappy. So few in numbers, and she's tired of putting all of her effort, and no one else is really giving it them all, their whole effort. She loves music. She was also a clarinet player. I was a clarinet player in high school through 6th grade to 12th grade. I played the clarinet. I played the bass clarinet. I played the tenor sax. So those are some of the few instruments I played in high school. My little brother played the trumpet, the tuba. Um, I believe that's it. He dropped out of band in 10th grade because the band director was an asshole, which he was an asshole in my school too, but that's the point. Um, so I grew up with all this music knowledge. Um, I know how to read sheet music. I know how to get pitches when singing. I was also a singer. I sing baritone, not alto, tenor, between tenor and bass, so I'm a baritone singer. I can hit some of that guy high notes and some of the low notes. I can't get down to like the lower octave unless I'm suffering a cold. Like I remember a few times in church when I was little, when I was younger. I shouldn't say little. When I was younger, like in high school, and I was coming down like I had a chest cold and everything was super super low. I would sing bass that day. But other than that, I would sing tenor or baritone in between the two. I would jump between tenor and bass depending on how high and how low it would go, just to mellow out. Me and my mom also sung in we did quartets at church, and we sung. We did actually traveled a little bit through church to church, and we sung duets together. Um, I remember this one time we sung Rascal Flatts, Broken Road, or something like that, at a local church. It was a duet piece, and we also sung. No, I was too young then. My mom sung at a friend of hers' wedding, and she sung From This Moment from Shania Twain. I was too young to sing with her then. I was like 9 years old. I really wanted to sing with her because me and her practiced together in the car. Um, but she said no, it was too young. So that's fine. But what I wanted to get into was the magic and healing of music. Um, when you are in a bad place or a bad place emotionally or physically or mentally, that you're in this funk. And one thing that I find that helps me get out of that funk is music and is singing. Um, Singing or playing. I don't have my clarinet with me for obvious reasons. I don't want it to get damaged, so it's back home with my parents. I also don't want it to get stolen. It's a pretty expensive instrument. I do miss playing it, but I have a couple Indian flutes. Um, I say flutes; they're more like not these type of flutes, but the kind of like a whistle. I do have a tin whistle. I have an ornate pagan whistle that I got for initiation. Um, it's beautiful. And I know how to play those, and I know how to play a couple songs on them. But when I am penting up anger or just releasing or cleansing, I want to sing. And I either do that by singing in the car or singing in the shower. Those are just the two places that I feel most comfortable and free. Um, it's always hard for me to sing in front of people. Um, Not for the fact that, um, well, I guess it is. I do have a little bit of stage fright. I know when I did solos and stuff at church, I remember doing a solo at school. I wasn't even in chorus, we had this talent show, and me and a friend went and we were going to sing a duet, and we didn't make it. And it was a good thing we didn't make it because the week of the day of the performance, she got laryngitis. So we were going to sing When I Get Where I'm Going. But we didn't make that part, so I asked the teacher if I could close the show. And I sung the song that I wanted to sing. I auditioned for, and she said, "Yeah, I would love for you to audition. I would love for you to close out the show. While the judges are counting down, you get on stage and you belt your song out." It was a Christian song, and it was If I Can Only Imagine. I don't remember the name of the group, but I love singing that song. Even being pagan, I don't see the difference in music. I don't bash or I don't hate Christian music. I think it has a beautiful message, um, more so than what the Bible pushers are saying. I think Christian music has a beautiful message. But I will say the only two types of music that I do not listen to is heavy metal and kind of rap. I don't really listen to rap. Um, Unless it's like Nicki Minaj or something like that. I really don't listen to rap. Um, I just I just don't vibe with it that well. But everything else I kind of listen to. So back to the healing arts, the healing effects, and the emotional release part. If I've had a really stressful day, I have Spotify on my phone, so I can go through and pick the songs I want to listen to, and I have a Bluetooth speaker that my partner gave me that's waterproof, so I can have it playing, in the bathroom when I'm in the shower. I probably annoy the hell out of him because I sing all the time when I'm in the shower, but when I really want to get rid of something, um, like cleanse, and I don't feel like the water's doing it enough, I will find a song that has belted notes or runs or something that puts the extra emotion where I am not here anymore. I am like totally immersed in the song and I'm feeling the emotion behind the song and I'm singing to my heart's content. Because in that moment, everything, I'm being cleansed. I'm cleansing myself with the power of music, and the power of my voice. Um, that is one application of music that I love to do. One of my favorites, especially when I get off of work, coming home in the car. I work at a smoke shop, so I deal with stupid customers. I can't say all of them are stupid, but a lot of them are dumb. Um, it goes with the job territory, but I like my job. I do like my job. I do meet a lot of interesting people, but a lot of my people annoy the living shit out of me. Just put it that way. So if I've had a really bad day at work, I want to play something like Jessie J. She's one of my favorite UK artists, just because she's different, wild. She has the belted notes. She has the vocal runs. Also, Christina Aguilera. I want to play. I'm saying mostly female vocals. Um, Now I can't think of it. Going back to my high school years and getting rid of and getting some of the stuff like 3 Days Grace, 3 Days, I think it's 3 Days Grace, Avenged Sevenfold, My Chemical Romance, um, Avril Lavigne, Green Day, um, just listening to them and having my windows down, blaring the music, and singing to my heart's content. And I may get strange looks from everybody, but I don't really give a damn. That's my moment. My car is my stage. Um, I just have to be careful and watch the speedometer because when I get really excited, I kind of get lead-footed, and that's not a good idea. But other than that, other than cleansing aspects, there you can use music and the voice and instruments like the drum, the rattle, the flute, the chimes, the finger chimes that belly dancers use. I don't know what they're called at the moment, even though I'm a belly dancer. I don't know what they're called. Um, they're not, they're little cymbals. Um, you could use wind chimes. Hell, you can use whatever makes a noise. You can beat your pan, like that um, meme usually says what witchcraft people think we are, and it's on one side it's like an inverted pentagram with blood running down your spell book, and it's really, and what we really are, get the fuck out of my house, ghosts, and you're banging a pot and pan. You know, you can use that as long as it's loud noise. You can use your hands to raise power. Um, so what I'm talking about is you can use these instruments to raise power, or to there's also chants to raise power. The elemental chant: the earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Um, and then there's we all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing through the ocean. There's things that you can, um, there's ancient chants that you can sing. And there's some in other languages too that at the moment I don't remember or can't recall, um, that are amazing. Crystal bowls are beautiful, a beautiful tool for this. Um, I eventually want one. I don't have one in my arsenal. I have a bell, and it works perfectly fine. Since I work with fairies and angels, I think the bell works really fantastic when calling in quarters. Um, what else? What else? What else? Um, so, I mean, there's tons of musical applications that you can do. I've even seen people that have, like, one of their favorite songs, pop songs, on repeat during a ritual just to keep that energy flowing. I think Lady Gravedancer did a healing and cleansing ritual where she showed you her entire ritual. Like it was in her blacked out room and she had like her playlist, a particular playlist on repeat, like from her phone, like in the speakers, and you hear that music and she's working her magic in tune with the beat and doing her thing. And when you get lost in the zone of the music and you work magic, it is one of the most beautiful and empowering things you can ever experience, in my opinion. I feel when you get lost in the music, if you're dancing, if you're working magic, if you are singing, if you're playing an instrument, it is one of the most beautiful, all inspiring things that can happen. And that's not just from a pagan standpoint. When I see dancers from we have all different cultural events down here. And when I see dancers who are, not just going through the motions, but actually are engrossed in the music and actually dancing, and you feel the beat run through their body as you hear the music. They're like, the music is an extenuation of themselves, or they are an extenuation of the music, I should say. That makes more sense. It's beautiful. So I want you guys um, to think about this, to think about how you can incorporate music in your rituals. I had a friend of mine, or two friends of mine, who did a midsummer ritual, all with Lisa Thiel music. No words were spoken. Everything was Lisa Thiel. The entire, like, they had Lisa Thiel opening the circle, calling in the gods, calling in the god, calling in the elements, working the midsummer, raising power, the closing of the circle, the farewell of the god, goddess, and elements, and the end. They used that CD. They made a CD of it, and that was their ritual. They they literally held hands, or I wasn't there. They literally just was in circle. They had that playing on a radio or on their sound speaker or whatever, and I literally just felt the music and it let it take over their body. And they celebrated this Sabbath that way. I found that awe inspiring to have a ritual that is just music. No spoken, like, no speech, no, you know, I mean, they probably did cleanse the area and cast circle and all that jazz, but just to feel the vibration of the music and to feel the energy raise, and for a common goal, which I know they probably had, it's for me, it sounded amazing, and I was like, I really want a copy of that. And I actually do have a copy of it. They gave me a copy of that whole CD for my initiation. Um, they're amazing pagan DJs that we have down here. They are one of the best. If you think of a song from any kind of band, I went to their house and they have like a whole room with entire four walls are filled with from shelf, from top of the ceiling down to the floor with CD cases. And it's homemade CD cases, like they're stacked on top of each other, but in alphabetical order. So you can find what you need to find. They're fucking fantastic. But had the point. So a lot of the and you'll also see a lot of music and healing. I say cleansing, and I say raising power. You can use it for banishing. Um, I think I talked about this in the Witch of the Moon video, but one of my favorite authors, and some people don't like her, but I like her. And one of her things she did in her teen spell book, her teen witchcraft spell book, was to get rid of a curse or bad luck. Was to excuse me. She had a couple different ways, but it was called the Country Rock Angels or the Rock Angels. Um, and what you do is you call on the angels to help you, but you turn on your favorite country station or country music and you blast it throughout the entire house, so it's heard throughout the entire house, and you clean. That's it. Um, and that is, it breaks up the energy. And I don't mean like unless you like that stuff, I'm not going to say it. I don't mean like the older country. I mean kind of like the newer country where it's kind of pop and country mix. I like the old country, don't get me wrong, but I do like the newer stuff because it's a little bit more upbeat and it's not, make you want to cry your eyes out, which sometimes you need to have that emotional release. There's a lot of uses in music and sound and healing as well. This video is going to be really long. Please just excuse me. Just late night ramble and I'm about to go to bed. And I wanted to get these on video before I passed out and forgot to do it tomorrow morning. Healing bowls, singing bowls, crystal bowls, singing bowls, bells, um, the singing bell, which that may be something I get instead of a singing bowl. Chimes, rattles, drums are used for healing ceremonies. They have been used throughout the ages of shamanism, and they're used a lot now in the neo-pagan and healing culture, and the energetic healing culture, just because they have been proven. Tuning forks, that's another one I was thinking of. A friend of mine has a set of tuning forks. I really want a set because they are awesome with working with your chakras. Because in the video on The Witch of the Moon, I talk about that the 7 notes in a scale. There's 8 notes in a scale. Don't get me for that. There are 8 notes in a scale, but the one that does not repeat, the B flat scale. It's the B flat scale. If you know anything about music, starts with the middle C, and it goes up to the high C. Yes, on the treble clef. So middle C up to the high C. So everything from C, D, E, F, A, B, 7 notes for the 7 chakras. And also, singing in those notes can call in certain angelic entities, depending on what chakra you're working with. I can do a different video for that. This is getting kind of long tonight. I can do a totally different video for calling in archangels using those notes. I am a certified angel therapist. I love working with the angels. I love working with spirits in general. Spirits of deities, spirits of angels, my ancestors. I'm getting really in touch with them. This year seems to be the year of death of close loved ones, but I see it as they're no longer in pain, so I'm happy for them. It just sucks that they're gone. To end this, I had a really dear friend of mine who was a lot older than me. He opened up a metaphysical shop here in the area, and we became really good friends because me and him worked out at the flea market. I worked for Shamans, and he worked for Canterbury Cloak and Dagger, which is the business he owned. And we would shoot the shit all the time, and eventually he actually got into work, some days at Shaman, so I was able to sit down with him for, 6 to 7 hours at a time, and we would shoot the shit and deal with customers. And I heard that he passed Thursday, and it was difficult, to say the least, but I know he's not suffering anymore. It just sucks that he's not around. And I know I said this was all about music, but it just, I apologize. It hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. He was a fantastic person. And I mean a fantastic person, unless you pissed him off, which that's with anybody. I'm a extremely nice person, but when you piss me off, I can turn into a hellhound. Um, and that's really taught to me by my partner. But so this is kind of a late night ramble with a little bit of a crying ending. Um, I know I'm looking far away, but there's my little wizard statue, and all I can think of is my friend who passed away. It looks just like him. Because he had the long white beard and the white hair, and he was a little big, and he was very wise and very mystical. He would never claim that he was pagan, but he was pagan. There were things that he could do that would blow your mind. Um, you never wanted to get on his bad side. He always knew when you were lying. Um, I felt really honored that I passed a test by him. He tested 2 tarot readers for the shop before he backed out and let his daughter take over. And I was one of the tarot readers. And we were talking, and he's like, "Do you have your cards on you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I always carry my cards with me just because you never know when someone's going to ask for a reading." He's like, "Oh, go get them. I want a reading." I was like, "Okay, that's kind of weird." So I get to it, and we're talking because how I work tarot is I want to build up a conversation and not to get any information out of you. I want that energy exchange because when you're talking to me and I'm talking to you, we're exchanging energy. And I want that energy exchange and I channel it into the cards. So I want the cards to soak up all of the client's energy so I can get the best reading for them. And so I laid out the cards, and this was, God damn, 6 years ago, I believe. No. It's about 4.5, 5 years ago. This is when I started working for shamans, and we were at shamans. And I pulled out some cards, and I told him I did a past, present, future, and I told him um, he didn't. He kept a poker face the entire time, and which really made me nervous because he is kind of intimidating. Or he was kind of intimidating, and he's like, "Good job." At the end of it, he's like, "Good job. You hit a lot of nails on the head. That's things that I didn't talk to you about that you had no idea of knowing. Um, but you just let everything roll out of I'll roll out of your mouth that what was coming to you, and I admire that." So apparently he interviewed someone else earlier that week, and he was talking to her, and she fed him the information that he told her right back at him by the cards, and he called her out as being a fake. So I know this has nothing to do with music and the craft. It's just me reminiscing on a friend that I lost. So since Samhain astrologically was the 7th of this year. And I don't remember. He died Thursday, not on the 10th. So, but he had cancer, and he was refusing treatment. So he said, "When my time comes, it comes. It's time for me to go. I'm not going to hold back. I don't want to fight it. I just want to go." So, and I respect that. I totally respect that. I'm going to miss him, but there's a lot of people I'm going to miss because they're no longer with me in physical form, but they're with me in spirit form. And I hope that he's with me in spirit form too, because I looked up to him a lot. But so tying back into music. Um, like I talked about on Witches of the Moon, which I will tag that video that I did on Witches of the Moon so you can see what I'm talking about. There's a book by Ted Andrews called Sacred Sound that goes into way more detail about the vibrations, the tonal ranges, the scale, and how it affects your chakras and your energy body, and how you can be disharmonized by minor notes or major notes or flats or sharps and things like that. Like if you hear like and it kind of explains how those binaural beats work, um, which I think they're a fantastic tool for spiritual development. If you don't know what they are, they're called binaural beats, and there's a ton of them. You have to have your headphones in. You can't really listen to it on just a regular computer because it goes in and it kind of reprograms your mind with different pitches of tones repeatedly. And it could be over um, the rain, the ocean, or just the beats themselves. And it can help heal a headache, help you sleep, help you lucid dream, help you awaken your psychic abilities, help you do a past life regression, help you meet your guides, help you study better, help you to memorize your studying material, help you overcome fear. It kind of rewrites your brain. And I think that's an amazing tool these days. YouTube has a ton of those videos. So I do recommend you guys check those out. And with that, I am getting kind of tired, so I am going to head to bed. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, or want me to talk on something totally different, I haven't done a book witch in a long time. There um, is Grammar Nazi. There are a couple books that I want to talk about. Um, and I may do a 2-in-1 Book Witch series because they're really short. And I don't know if I've talked about them yet, so I have to go back and look. Um, so yeah, I will do that. I'll probably record that Sunday and have that up for you guys Monday morning. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And with that, I am signing off and going to bed. Many blessings, guys. And until next time, blessed be.